Hello, wonderful people. This is Miss Curry, and I would like to welcome everyone to Business Communications. This is my online section, Section 70, and I'm so happy to have all of you in the course. I just wanted to get on and do a quick introduction video and just let you know about a couple of things. The first thing I want to make sure you know is how to get in touch with me. So during this first week, that's the most important thing. As long as you can get in contact with me and ask your questions, everything will be fine this week. This week is a pretty low-key week, just getting comfortable with the course and easing into it. And so I just want to make sure that you know how to get in touch with me. On the home page of the course, and mine looks a little different because I'm on my iPad, there is a spot where you can print your syllabus. My contact information is there. My door schedule is there, but also here at the bottom, you'll see my email and also a phone number. So you can email me, you can call, you can text. You can text and request a Zoom meeting, which you can find the Zoom tab there to the left of the home course page. And I'm happy to meet with you anyway and communicate with you about any of the questions that you may have this week. All right, so I do want to just tell you what a wonderful course this is. This is a great little course, and that's not because necessarily I'm the best instructor. It's just the content of this course. It's a great course for communications. It's one of those courses that kind of opens your eyes to exactly how good of a job you do communicating, and then gives you a lot of useful tips to kind of help with whether it's your written communication, your oral communication, and just really a great course for helping us open up our eyes to the ways that we do communicate, the way that's changing in today's world. And so we'll get into a lot more of that in chapter 1, which we will not get to any real course content until next week. But just a really great course for learning how to communicate better and be more successful. And you'll see through the course that that is sometimes key to elevating you in a company, kind of sifting you from others and setting you apart. A lot of employers and the powers that be, so to speak, are looking for people that really know how to communicate, both written and orally. And it's a great thing to have in your tool belt, so to speak. So happy that you've joined the course and excited about being able to help, helpfully to teach you a little bit about communication. I would ask you to ponder over the course of the next week before we get into the course content. Would you say that on average, as a society today, do we communicate a lot more than we have before? Or do we communicate a lot less? So I want you to kind of think about that. And I have a couple of assignments this week to kind of get you thinking that way. But before we get into that too much, I've clicked on modules here. We've popped open the modules, and I just want to kind of give you a quick rundown of the setup of the course. And so this first thing that you're going to see here is getting started with Cengage. This course is going to connect you to almost an unlimited amount of sources that you can get to. But for this particular course, we're going to use 3 different textbooks, but you do not have to go out and buy 3 different textbooks. You're going to purchase a Cengage Unlimited code, and with that code, you should be able to connect to all 3 textbooks that we're going to be using for the course. They just started doing this a semester ago, and the books that they use are really great, but we're going to use a different one for each thing. So this course really kind of divides up what we're learning into 3 areas. We have chapter assignments, which is really just the course content. We have grammar because we can't really be good at communicating if our grammar is not where it needs to be. And so we'll have some grammar assignments, and that comes out of the business English textbook. And then we also are going to be writing a very short, please do not panic, a very short and very walked through APA paper. And with that, we're going to be using the Purposeful Argument textbook and doing a couple of videos out of there that will help us, video assignments that will kind of help us with APA formatting. So Cengage is here, this first module, that's all about how to get hooked up. That's a primary thing this week, just making sure that you have your code, making sure that you are hooked into Cengage. There are written instructions as well as a phone number you can call and additional help from people for the next 2 weeks if you're having any trouble. And of course, you can always call me. And then this week, week one, we're just calling introductions. I'll be posting this video up here that you can see. Also, just real quick, let me show you too. Obviously, I have all of your weeks done all through week 16, but because you're an online course, I don't want to overwhelm you. A lot of the things that you see on here, you'll see these two that aren't published right now. I do in class with a lot of my classes. I do some of this work in class, and so I'm only going to publish for you guys. You'll see when you actually get on the first couple of weeks for you to get started, because I don't want you to become overwhelmed, because I will take stuff off before we get into it, because I try to be mindful of how much work to put into each week. So I'm going through right now and kind of paring it down a little bit more for you guys. But for week one, there's going to be a diagnostic test that you're going to take, a grammar assignment. That is not ultimately, if I remember correctly, it may say that it counts towards your grade, but I don't think it does. It's something that you're going to do for attendance verification, and it will give you and me both kind of an idea of where you are grammatically. And then we have a really cool assignment that I'm having everybody do about computer technology. And so it kind of just poses that question that I just asked you about having technology right at our fingertips. How is that helping us? Is that helping us to think critically? Is that helping us to think more critically, or is it actually hindering us? And then there's another assignment there about whether or not you're a digital native. So if you are a millennial, if you were born after 1985, you don't remember a time when there wasn't technology or a cell phone or a device in your hand. And so it kind of poses some questions for you to kind of think about and respond there for that. So just some kind of get to know you activities this first week, letting you kind of get hooked up with the course, kind of look at it. But eventually, just so you know, you will see, like next week, I'll post a PowerPoint each week and or lecture, and then we'll cover a chapter. And each week you'll probably have some type of a writing assignment, sometimes small, sometimes a little longer, and a chapter assignment that you do through MindTap. And then I'll alternate weeks. Sometimes you'll have an APA video assignment, sometimes you'll have a grammar assignment. We used to do it where we had one of each on every week, and I just felt like that was a little bit overload, so I've pared that down a little bit. And I'll talk about this again as we go into next week and kind of reiterate the format. But I just know that when you publish a course and someone jumps on for the first time and you kind of start looking through the modules, it can become very overwhelming if you're not really sure how everything is going to be. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to unpublish the first couple of modules for tomorrow and this week, let you kind of get in, maybe even get a jump start onto the next week. I'll touch base with you guys again with a video next week. And of course, I'm available through Zoom, and I may actually even send out an email letting people know if I have enough questions about one particular thing where I can put out information and say, hey, if you want to get answers to these questions, I'll be on Zoom for this time. Reach out if you need me this week. Again, I'm so happy to have you as part of the course. Main thing this week, just getting hooked into Cengage, following this module, and getting these first couple of assignments done. That's on week one. I look forward to working with you this week, and I hope everyone has a really great week this week.